We can now go live to Nevada to speak to Republican strategist and former Nevada Republican chairwoman, Amy Tarkanian. Amy, great to have you on the show with me today ahead of the State of the Union address. But given that 61% of Americans say Trump has become erratic with age in a recent Reuters Ipsos poll, could Trump use his address to regain voter confidence ahead of those midterm elections?
Absolutely. And I don't think that his personality is necessarily a surprise. I don't think that it's necessarily evolved or changed since the time that he served in his first administration. He has always been bold and brash. He has always been very outspoken. I think that the State of the Union is an excellent opportunity for him to hopefully lay out his plans economically, here dealing with safety concerns domestically and also abroad. In that way, he can actually relay some clarity, concise plans, and hopefully bring comfort to the American people. And that's usually what happens during a State of the Union address is no matter the president, no matter the party, they usually see an uptick in their favorability in their polling. And so right now I think we're all feeling a little uneasy because the economy is kind of all over the place. And we do have a lot going on here at home as far as safety concerns. And of course, with our border constantly being at the top of the list. And so he has an opportunity to actually, I think, do some really good things if he can stay focused.
Yeah, exactly, if he can stay focused, because I was looking at his last speech was 90 minutes long. Donald Trump can't always stay focused. But Amy, I wanted to touch on something, because high prices for everyday goods are one of the biggest problems facing the White House. And voters are really souring on the economy. And of course, the Supreme Court limiting his tariff powers. How do you assess President Trump's economic leadership? Because right now, when we look at it, it's all pretty chaotic and confusing.
It is. And that instability, either with companies here in America or dealing abroad, it's not a very ideal way to do business. Most businesses like to function with consistency and clarity and make sure that that each other has a full understanding of what the business deal intakes. And he seems to not even think twice about throwing out as much as he can as far as his bullish tactics. And so that does allow our economy to kind of yo-yo. And so that does bring everyone a little bit of concern and hesitation. So with the latest ruling, finding that his tariffs were illegal, this is maybe it's good intentions. Maybe these are areas that need to have improvement at some point, and he sees that. But we still have laws in place, and so he has to go about it the lawful way. He talks about wanting to follow the law all the time, and no one is above the law, and that includes the president.
And how might President Trump's warning to countries about backing away from trade deals and his threat of higher tariffs affect international trade relations, especially when it comes to America's allies, like the European Union?
Sure. Well, if you can't trust who you're doing business with, then why would you continue? And I think that's not a very safe or fair way to ask other countries to still come and have a seat at the table. That's just unheard of. That's not how normal people function. That's not how normal business functions. And so this is something he's going to have to, I think, do some repair on. And now you have major businesses like FedEx and Toyota and Revlon that are now seeking reimbursement for these tariffs that he had illegally put in place.
Yeah, it's so interesting when it comes to all the tariffs. But Amy, one last thought from you. Is the State of the Union speech Trump's best chance to sell voters on his military plans in Iran, as the Middle East military buildup seems to be overshadowing domestic policy focus right now?
Sure, we're all on pins and needles because, quite honestly, we have at our southern border, we have, Mexico and an upheaval with the cartel. We have problems dealing with in Iran. We still have problems in the Ukraine. There's problems all over the place. And so I think without giving away our master plan, if you will, it would be nice to know that we can feel comfortable and confident in our leader in knowing that he does have a plan and he's going to put it into action and have our backs in the process.
Do you still have faith in Donald Trump, Amy?
I struggle with that at times. I would like to think that he has surrounded himself, hopefully, with some very intelligent individuals who can assist him in certain areas of times like these. And so, one can just, I guess, pray and hope and keep. When it's time to vote, then you just continue to do your research and go from there.
Amy Tarkanian, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you.